All right, hey everybody, we're back for the next video. So now we get to make these awesome little stick figure sculptures, and so it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited. So first, go ahead and get out your tin foil. There should be like a bunch of sheets in your packet, and that's just like so. If you're working on it, getting the hang of it, you don't like how one turns out, that's okay. You can just make another one and really practice. Or if there's some extra time at the end and you have made one of these guys or maybe two and you want to try like making something else, like, I don't know, like a horse or a dog or like a snail or a flower or something, you can do that too. But we're gonna start, and I'm just gonna teach you how to make a little person out of this, and we're gonna try some different things, be able to like bend our people around. That's the cool part about tinfoil. It's really, I don't know if you've ever like made a ball of tinfoil. I don't know, I really like to do that. When I was younger, I really liked to like make tiny little balls of tinfoil and like make snowmen and stuff. So it's really fun. And they're easy to bend, and you can make your little tinfoil guy do different things and bend it around. So yeah, so it's gonna be cool. So let's get started. So you got your tinfoil out. You also need scissors. I'll use these crazy things. We've got some interesting scissors here. Yeah, so we're gonna get started. So you got your tinfoil. I'm going to give you a sheet of it. I'm going to take this one. And hold on to this little paper you used for your warm-up because it's going to come in handy when we make these sculptures. Okay, so first we're going to talk about cutting our tinfoil. That's the first step. So a really good way to do this is just to cut 5 lines in your tinfoil. And basically you just don't want to cut through the middle. So you don't want to like accidentally cut your tinfoil paper in half. That's the goal. But I'll show you some tricks that should really help you to just like avoid doing that. And it's pretty simple. You should be able to get the hang of things. So here's a little model that I like to show, and it might show up backwards on your screen. But basically you're going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines in the tinfoil. And then I just wrote like in between each line that you cut, it's going to become a different body part. And I wrote like which body part it was. I think our camera is going to flip it around and make it backwards. So if you can't read it, don't worry. I'll tell you where everything is. So like at the top, you're going to have your head. These 2 sides are going to become the arms, and the bottom's going to become legs. So you can see you're just going to cut 1, 2 lines around the top, 1 line on each long side, and then 1 more line on the other short side. So we're going to walk through it, break it down step by step. Okay, so grab your piece of tinfoil first. And so I just said these little guys are going to come in handy. So they are. You're going to use it kind of to protect the middle of your tinfoil. So that you don't accidentally cut all the way through to the other side and then end up with separate pieces. So here we go. So just fold this paper back up. I'm just going to fold it so that it makes this rectangle. You can fold it a little smaller if you want. But basically this is just going to go right in the middle of your tinfoil piece like this. And this part in the middle that you're not cutting through, that's going to kind of become the tummy, like this part of your little tinfoil person. So first, let's go ahead and cut 1 line up through the middle of the bottom of your tinfoil. So you've got your paper here in the middle, and you've got your big piece of tinfoil. Here's the bottom side. So you're going to cut a line that goes up and touches the paper, but it stops at the paper. So get your scissors and just go to the bottom edge of your paper right here, or your tinfoil, not your paper, right here, and then you're just going to cut a line that goes and you're going to stop. You're going to stop when you get to this guy, when you get to this paper in the middle. So you're going to end up, and I'll hold it the way that it looks when you look at it. So you're going to end up with this tin foil, and it's got one cut in the bottom. One line that's cut, but it doesn't go through the middle. Okay, so your paper is back on the middle. Next, we're going to cut a line here and a line here. So those are going to be the lines that are going to make the legs and the arms kind of come apart from each other. So you've got your paper in the middle. You're going to cut up to the paper on that side, and then you're going to cut, stop at the paper on that side. So put your paper back down. Go to the middle of this long side right here, this long side of your tin foil. And you're going to carefully cut a line in your tin foil. And when you get to your paper that's in the middle, stop. And then go to the next side. And you can move your tin foil around so it's easier to cut it. But just remember, you just want to stop when you get to that paper so that you leave that space for the tummy of your stick person in the middle. Okay, so now your piece of tin foil should look like this. So you got one line here, kind of hard to see, but you got one line here, one line over here, and one line here at the bottom. But it doesn't go through the middle, so you still got this like tummy area in the middle. So the last thing we're gonna do, and then we get to like actually build the people, which is really fun. The last thing we're gonna do is cut two lines at the top. So Annika, can you hold this for a second? Awesome, thank you. So you've got your paper in the middle. You're gonna cut one line that comes down and touches the paper, and then another line that comes down and touches the paper. Those lines can go like straight up and down. So they can go straight up and down like this, or they can go diagonal. So these are your lines. They can go like this, or they can go diagonal so that they're kind of pointing in towards the middle, towards the piece of paper. So we'll go ahead and cut our tin foils right now. So just start somewhere along this top edge, the only edge that you haven't cut yet, and just cut, and stop at the paper. And then a little further down on the same side. So you cut here, a little further down on the same side here. You're just gonna cut again. And it's just as long as you stop at the paper. All right. So you've got kind of like, you can keep cutting if you're still working on it, keep going. But when you're done, you should have like these little like flaps. So you got this guy up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, so yeah, yours looks great, Annika. You just, the biggest thing is you should have 5 cuts in your paper, and the middle should still be connected. Like it all should be connected, shouldn't be separate pieces. If you do end up making separate pieces, that's okay. Just grab a new sheet of tin foil and you can try it again. Or I can show you what happens if like an arm or a leg falls off your person and how to reconnect it. Tin foil, like I said, it's really squishy and smushy. It connects back together super easy, so no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's just about having fun and learning how to do something new. So yeah. All right, so now we're gonna actually sculpt our people. We're gonna scrunch them up and make them into people. So what do you want to start with, Annika? You want to start with arm, leg, head?
Let's start with the leg.
Okay, so the leg is gonna be one of these really big chunks that you cut at the bottom. So like that first line that you made, it's one of the sides of the line. So I'm gonna start with this leg right here. So this square will become the leg. So you just wanna like grab the tin foil and start scrunching it up. And you wanna be gentle. Don't go too crazy because tinfoil does rip kind of easily. So just kind of scrunch it. Like gentle scrunches. Not like Hulk scrunches, like baby scrunches, you know? Yeah. So you're going to kind of start to scrunch it. And you don't have to scrunch it super tight because, again, you don't want to rip it. You just want to take it really slow. You can always scrunch more later. So here you go. So I've kind of got a leg going on this guy. It's not super scrunched up yet, but it's enough that, like, you kind of start to see a leg shape happening. Make sense?
That's what mine looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got a little leg kicking out right here too. It's forming. It's happening. We're making a person. Okay. So maybe we should do the other leg next. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
All right. We're going to do the other leg. So the piece that's right next to this leg you just made, grab it and scrunch it up again. So again, just like really gentle. Just start to squeeze it a little bit and kind of make it look like a leg. All right. So now you've got this kind of like wacky, it's like a bird flapping its wings. You've got a person, they're starting to form. Okay, so next, let's do the head. So the head is this piece at the top, and you're just gonna scrunch it. Again, baby scrunches, not Hulk scrunches. You got it. And you're gonna, this one you're gonna make less like a long leg shape. You're gonna kind of make like a ball shape to make a head. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna kind of start to make a head, and you'll notice that like as you scrunch the sides of your person together, you kind of like the middle, like the tummy area is starting to scrunch up too. So you can give that like a quick little scrunch, start bringing things together there. You can kind of push down. Okay.
That really is a bird.
Yeah, so we've got bird wings right now. Now they're very cool, but we're gonna show you how to make them into arms. Yeah. So let's start with the arms. Can you guess what we're gonna do next?
Baby scrunches?
Baby scrunches. More baby scrunches. I promise you can do Hulk scrunches in a minute. So we're going to do baby scrunches. So scrunch it up, really gentle. And you kind of make this like little arm. It's pretty long. My guy's got some long arms. And then just do the other arm after that. So scrunch it down. Baby scrunches. Yeah. So now you've got this guy or girl, whatever, and it kind of looks like a gingerbread man, but we want to make like this really little funky stick man. So what you're going to do now, you can kind of get into the Hulk scrunches. So you can scrunch the legs really hard and just make them really skinny, and you notice that like the tinfoil, it likes to be scrunched, so it just scrunches down really tight and it can make really long, skinny legs for your person. So you kind of got these like stick legs that are starting just like your stick man. And then next, I'm gonna do the belly next. So I'm just gonna like really squish the middle in tight. And now you've got like, from all your Hulk scrunching, you've got like a little stick man with like Hulk arms. So it's kind of fun how these change, just as you squeeze them up. Yep, and then just do your arms. Yeah, look, Annika she's crushing it, literally crushing it. She's doing great. So yeah, you just want to crush your tin foil. Just make everything nice and tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then I'm going to end with the head. And again, just kind of try to make it into a ball shape. So you can kind of push it down more than you did with these. And push it in so that it makes a little ball shape for the head. All right. Okay. These are some fun little sculpture people. So yeah, so these might remind you a little bit of what you saw in the slideshow about Giacometti, the sculptor, the famous artist. Yeah, if you remember, he's got these long, skinny figures with long arms and legs. And you probably noticed that they were doing some stuff. So think back and think about, like, what were they doing? Were they kind of just like standing here? I know some of them have legs that go really close together and arms that go really close together. Maybe they're feeling a little sad. So they're just standing here, kind of quiet and sad. So you can make your sculpture look like them. I think that there's one that's pointing. So like if you move the arm out, then they're pointing. And if you think back, like what we're starting to do right now, moving these little stick figures around, we're starting to make a 3D version of what we did in these drawings. So if you want to try, you can make your sculpture do some of the things that your stick figures in your drawings were doing. So yeah, what's yours doing, Annika?
He's doing the boogie dance.
Oh, I see it. Look, he's moving too. He's dancing. I'm gonna make mine jumping. So I'm just gonna like bend the legs a little bit. So you've made this, like, you've brought your stick people that you were drawing earlier to life, and now they're here with you. They're just jumping around and dancing around, doing whatever you had them doing on paper, but it's like they jumped out of the paper and they're right here with us. It's crazy. So mine's gonna jump, boing, boing, do some jumping. Oh, it's a ballerina. And you can like try to get them. Sometimes it's kind of tricky to get them to stand up. Maybe I can get mine to do some kneeling. Whoa, he's falling down. He's wobbling around a little bit. So it's kind of fun. You can just try to make them like do different things and balance. He's falling forward a little bit. Whoa. I don't know. You can have them. I'm going to try to do the handstand. Turn them upside down and have them do things. If you have some props in your space around you, like my water bottle's right here off camera. So maybe I want my little sculpture to be hanging on the water bottle. Woohoo! There he is. He's hanging on, going for a ride. Want to jump on? Or I don't know. What else do we have here? We have like this little container. It could become a chair for your person. So what are they doing? Are they just hanging out and sitting? This guy looks like he's having a good time. Arms up in the air. Maybe they're sitting and they're just like chilling, watching a show. Maybe they're outside and they're watching the trees and people walking by. So yeah, so just like take some time, have fun, see what you can make your little sculptures do. And think about like where we started with this. So first we started with a sheet of paper and all we did were just draw some lines and circles, and we just made these little people with just like such simple shapes and lines, and they're doing all these different things. So that was amazing. So a little bit of materials and a little bit of drawing can make a really big message, and they can show something and represent something that's happening in the world. And then think about where we started with our sculpture. All we had is a sheet of tinfoil that, like, I don't know, where do I see? I see tinfoil like when my mom's cooking in the kitchen, and that's it. And look what you did. You turned that sheet of tinfoil into a little sculpture that looks like sculptures made by a famous artist. And you can make them do so many things. You can show feelings with them, so you can make them be excited and jumping and dancing and kind of bend their legs. You can, maybe they're really intense and they're running somewhere. Or maybe they're flying like a superhero. in the sky. Woo! So really, like, the message from this project is that in art, you can use like really, really simple materials. You can do really simple lines, even a simple sculpture like this, and it can turn out really cool, and it can do so many different things. So yeah, that's really all we've done today. Just draw some lines and use some tinfoil, and look what we made. What was your favorite part of today's project, Annika?
My favorite part was the Hulk scrunches and really getting everything nice and tiny to form the person.
Yeah, I like the Hulk scrunches too.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, so fun project. If you have some extra time today and you probably have some extra sheets of tinfoil, you can try making something else with your tinfoil. What can you do? Can you take like little pieces of tinfoil and make like an animal? Can you roll up your tinfoil and make a snail? Can you make like some shorter arms and legs and make it into a dog? So if you've got some extra time during camp or in your own time, you can try those things out. And just see what you can do with only a little bit of materials. All right, everybody, I hope you had fun doing today's art project. I know we had a lot of fun here. So I hope you have a really great week, and I'll see you for our next art videos. Bye.